You did it. We're live.
Okay, sorry. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me live today. I know usually I do a new comic book day video on Tuesdays, but today I am going to be doing a magic order discussion with my two friends, Andrew and Rett, who actually have a YouTube channel they just started recently called Comic Book Campaign. So I posted their link down below. So if you can go subscribe, that'd be awesome. But I was on their channel last week. I think it was last week.
Yeah.
And we discussed Reborn. And they were really into it, and they were really looking for other books to get into and read. So I actually recommended reading the Magic Order. So they did, and that is what we're going to be discussing today. So say hi, guys.
Hey, what is going on?
Hey, thank you so much for having us. And that was top 10 introductions I've ever heard. So that was a great introduction, Nat. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming on our show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and you gave us actually all of the views, and we might have given ourselves two views.
No, I doubt that. It was actually a really fun discussion. I really enjoyed it too. I had a very eureka moment, and yeah, it was lots of fun. Like I said, their link is down below, so y'all should go subscribe to them. I think they're going to be doing maybe did y'all say weekly videos?
Yeah, we're taking a week hiatus next week because Andrew's going down to Florida.
But yeah, we usually try to do one. We're going to try to do one a week, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah. I think we're going to try to do it live on Thursday nights. I think that's the plan. So we're going to take it there, and then we actually just read Coyotes, which was a suggestion from Rett. So we're going to do that this Thursday night around the same time. So yeah.
So if you guys aren't turned away quite yet, we'll be live on Thursday.
Yeah. So Ned, you're the one who was like, we have to do Magic Order. Like, we have to do it. You're like, no discussion, Magic Order. This is what we're doing.
Okay. So when the Magic Order came out, or when it was announced, it was already going to be part of the whole Millar Netflix thing that he had going on. So I knew it was going to be a great series. I like Millar books, and I like his whole new thing with Netflix, because to be honest, when I first read this first issue, it played out like a type of show type of story. So after that, it got me hooked, and I just knew it was going to be really good. And I'm actually really upset that it was only 6 issues. So I don't know. What did you guys think?
Yeah, and I think you were right. And the characters are definitely well drawn out. The plot is, I mean, you can get a lot of similarities from, as Andrew said, Harry Potter, but it's like Harry Potter on acid, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think it's similar to Reborn, because Reborn we talked about in the other video where the ending could have been a kicking off point, and I felt like Magic Order, the ending, it could have kept going. So I think it's an awesome story. I really enjoyed it. I wanted to play devil's advocate and be like, no, I hated it. And then you guys would yell at me, and then you try to convince me how much I like it. I can't do that.
Really
no, Millar's just too great of a writer.
He actually, I think he said he was working on a second volume, but I don't know if he ever decided to.
Right, he said that it was I think it was the fifth comic that he was saying that he was starting it in December of last year.
Yeah, it was early. I think it was the first or second comic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, right off the bat, Rett and Nat. I know I really enjoyed it. The thing I really enjoyed was, are we giving away like all the issues? I don't know if I should say some stuff that might just give it away for someone who hasn't read it.
Well, I mean, I think there's going to be spoilers because we can't really talk about this book without
Yeah.
saying, like, you can't just say a little bit about it. Like, you actually have to talk and like in depth about it, and that's what I wanted this video to be. So I guess FYI to everybody, there is going to be spoilers. So if you haven't read the Magic Order,
Pause the video.
yes, pause to read it and then come back.
Then come back.
Or I mean, if you love spoilers, if you
Okay.
love spoilers like me, then go ahead and keep watching because
Yeah.
it's a great series. So
So
real quick, I want to say hi to a couple people on the chat. Just the Rickon and his comics. Hello. Ray D, comic lover Omega. Hi. Weapon Squaw, thanks for joining me. And Tom the Fish. Hi. And yes, I'm feeling better, so thank you. Sorry.
no, you're fine.
Are you able to eat solid foods yet?
Yes. I think I started like earlier this past week, like Friday or so. I know it sounds really nasty, but like I just hate how it'll just go like in the hole. And then like later you just like feel the food coming out. You're just like, oh, like that's so gross. So
Yeah, you gotta wash that stuff out.
yeah, I do. And they gave me a rinse and everything. But yes, I finally am able to eat, and it makes me so happy because that was like I think the worst part about the whole thing. Not being able to eat.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. Yeah, that happened to me too with getting all 4 wisdom teeth out at the same time and then having food stuck in there. They're like, and then I came back with food in my mouth and they're like, you're disgusting because why is there food in there? Because I think I just ate, I don't know. But let's talk about Reborn. I mean, Magic Order. Reborn, Magic Order. I thought it was, for like a comic book, I loved the villain. I loved the whole thing. I loved the outfit. I loved the name. I loved how super, super creepy it was. Like,
yes.
I was creeped out, like, from the comic. I know there's a scene.
What?
Just like his whole, like, what do you mean at what?
Right.
What were you creeped out about?
You're just like reading this to your kid.
Persona and the way that, oh man, the way that he kills he kills people, absolutely, that was the best part of the entire.
How was the whole twist on issue 5? I don't know if it's too early to talk about this, but like when you figured out who the actual killer was, like what did you like? How was your reaction? Like how did you react to that?
It was like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. It was like no. Sixth Sense? No.
Right. I was gonna say that. I actually texted like Natalie, like, "Hey, have you seen this movie?" Because I wanted to bring it up and be like, "Have you seen this?" Sixth Sense is because when you see the reveal, I had to go back and read the whole comic again, and a lot of the conversations fit both ways, and you notice that like the main bad guy is saying things that could be interpreted in an evil way, which was awesome. It was like,
did the art reflect it? I don't remember if the art reflected or gave you any hints to who the killer actually was.
I don't think
I think that was hidden really well.
Yeah, I don't know if the artwork told you or hinted at you who it was. I thought it was just like a surprise. Like
it was a huge surprise. Like.
Right, no, I fully agree.
Yeah, loved. But let's go back to, you didn't think it was creepy. Like the part where the guy's like brushing his teeth in his apartment and then he's like looking in the mirror and then the bad guy shows up in the mirror. Super creepy. I was like, that is creepy. Okay.
You have like different definitions of creepy because I didn't think that was creepy. I don't know.
It was kind of like in the Scary Movie where the person's like, it's midnight and they're going for like a drink of water and they open up the fridge and then they close it and then the person's right there.
This is what I meant about reading this book as like a show, because like I don't know, I like how you could see like the scenes just flip back and forth. I don't know if y'all caught that. Like y'all would be reading, and then it's like I could imagine it going to like a different kind of scene, like if it was a movie or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it like plays out really well. Like you can
Yeah, it
see it
really.
as a TV show, like as a movie. You can
Yes,
it does really
I
well
agree.
like in that aspect. Yeah. But you don't so you weren't scared at all, Nat.
No,
Okay.
no, what?
Okay. This is just like a PG thing for Nat. Like he's just
It,
murdering people
okay, it
and
wasn't like PG, but I don't think it was like creepy or anything.
Rhett, were you creeped out by the villain?
Well, I mean, the villain looked like if you've ever seen the movie Amadeus, like the poster for Amadeus is just like it's 18th century. It just look to it, and it's
Yeah.
just. I thought it was creepy. But I mean, the bad guy was creepy, but the narcissistic, the woman that hired him, her character was pretty awesome as well.
Yeah, I loved her look. Like I love like the black mask covering her face and just like the whole persona. I thought she was an awesome bad guy.
So was that like your favorite character from the whole?
No, I think the killer himself. I mean, just his his true self, and then his killer self or whatnot was, the best character.
Gabriel.
Yes, I'm going to be really bad with names here. There's so many names to remember in this one. Sorry.
Which dude? Yeah.
Yes, Gabriel. And the whole backstory too.
Do you think it was a good reason, like what he did, like for his daughter, like worth it killing his family? Like, do you think?
Yeah, I'm surprised that he did it the way that he did. Like, if he were to kill his family because he felt guilty that it was his family's fault that made her die, I could understand that a little bit more than I have to kill my family to be able to get my daughter back because of him being hired by the woman.
Yeah, I thought that was a little too much. Like,
well,
just being able to kill everybody just like that, like just like whatever.
Right. I mean, the whole. I don't think the importance of Chicago was. Millar made it seem like, oh, I made it Midwest because everything is in New York, everything is in LA. Yeah, and we just sort of need it to be in Chicago. And
I love that.
It kind of. Well, I mean, you love that because you are in Chicago.
I got excited when they showed the Art Institute.
I was like, oh yeah, there's the Lions. All right, it is Chicago.
It was kind of like being at like a rock concert and then being like, oh, we're so happy to be here in Chicago. I love the shout out.
But it's actually Detroit.
It's Detroit, and they get booed off.
Okay.
See, but like,
so
I don't know, go on.
Oh no, Ray Rage from the chat, Ray D. I don't know if you say the D with your name. Sorry. He said that the only part he found creepy was the kid in the beginning of the first issue, and actually, yeah, that's true.
The kid.
That's it.
So Natalie, could you explain? And that was one thing about.
I don't know. If
oh yes, yeah.
That was yeah.
That was
it. I mean.
Could you explain a little bit about Gabriel's daughter and what actually happened to her?
It was basically just an accident. I think, it was a very it's like a really big family thing, this whole magic order, it goes through generations, and they teach their children, and then they teach their children. And, they weren't keeping anything from her, like their daughter. The wife and husbands knew or whatever. And I think her daughter grew up knowing, hey, my dad is a magician and he's a badass. He has a wand and spell books and all this stuff. And he did keep it locked, but there was a day where she wanted to show her friends, and she got his keys, and she went and got his wand, and there was like an accident that I don't know if it just killed her or the other two friends as well.
Right. You saw the house open up and they sort of disappear or whatnot.
Well, they were laying on the floor.
I think you're right. Yeah. But yeah, it seemed like the wand itself had a lot of the power than actually saying spells.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, she could have known a spell. I mean, her dad was
right. I mean, I don't.
But it didn't show anything like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't remember.
I think like coming full circle with Nat said about, do you think you can kind of in so many words his reasoning and how he's able to kill his whole family? Like, I think it comes full circle like towards the end of the comic where the Gabriel's father, has to put him to rest, and he kind of says, I understand my son a little bit more because now he lost his child. So it's definitely, I mean, also the complexity of it. It's not like he could just like kill everyone and then just take the book. Like they had to do that whole scheme where they had to like infiltrate the base, and then like because they couldn't get in there if they found out who they were. So it was very like complex. Like the whole plan was complex, and you can see like his rage just takes over at the end because he's probably been keeping it in for so long. Like I got to keep my cool, and I.
Are you talking about the uncle?
No, just Gabriel. He has to keep his cool. And the one funny thing about the comic that I didn't really understand was they didn't really seem too concerned that they were all dying. Like they're just like, oh, this wizard died. We're cool. We can just go on with our lives. But there's an assassin trying to kill us all. But we're totally like fine, and we're just gonna go separately. Like.
So do you think it was like a bit rushed to try to just get to the end or to the point?
No, I didn't think so.
I thought the arc was pretty well done.
I did too, honestly. Like when I finished reading issue 6 the first time, I remember just thinking, you know what? I think it ended perfectly. Like I felt like satisfied. I felt like, I didn't think anything was really missing. I felt like it could continue, but I just felt like the arc, like you said, did just close like it should.
I mean, the magic order at the end was completely whole except for Gabriel, right? He's the only one that's officially dead.
Well, and the bad guys.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
True.
Well, like what Nat said about the TV thing, like about feeling satisfied. Like I felt satisfied at the end of each comic. Like I feel like there was such a huge thing that happens in the ending for all of them. You can see like those being like season ending episodes and being like, oh my gosh, this is such a cliffhanger. And
but that makes great writing.
The whole comic to me, whole comic to me was written like a show. Like the panel to panel, like issue to issue, like it was great.
Right, and everybody was dying in some really interesting ways. I mean, the one that really was creepy to me was
not to Natalie though.
Oh, what? Huh?
It wasn't creepy to Natalie though.
Oh, that's true.
No. I mean, to be honest, I'm telling you, the only death that I think really was creepy was that kid at the beginning, and like I guess like the colors and everything, like that was just like him like just putting his finger. That was creepy. But like the other deaths were just, they could have been gruesome, maybe, especially like the dad, how he died. But I don't think they were.
I mean, the librarian died pretty interestingly as well. Yes.
Yeah, I think they make some comment on that page like, I think he's dead. Like,
oh yeah, well, because he says that he's always been a tricky one. I thought that was funny because like, let me make sure he's dead just in case.
Yeah,
like definitely dead.
Felt like a Jason Halloween reference. Like, we've killed him, we have to make sure he's still dead because
But he made a comment too when he came back.
Like he didn't like it. He didn't like being dead.
No,
for a
no, he
minute,
was
or-
just like he said always have a trick up my sleeve or something like that.
Oh.
Something like that, I think. That was funny. I thought this was such a badass moment where he like flips the car.
Right.
See, I saw this play out as like I'm telling you, I saw all this play out as just like
And
a
then
show.
the creepy way that he says, I have a spell that takes us back 60 seconds or whatnot, and
Yeah.
in the future you're almost brain dead. And he's just like told the guy, you know, what actually happened to him or what was gonna happen to him in the future.
Mhm.
And then like just like imprisoning him in that book. I thought that was quite interesting how they could do that.
Yeah.
That was cool. It's like, oh, I have to remember what these books are about, like Crime and Punishment and the
King Lear.
Dr. Zhivago. Is it Dr. Zhivago where it's like the island of the mutant like
island.
animal experiment kind of thing. So it's like, oh, you should read your book so you'll know the references.
Right. And no,
Robinson Crusoe, yeah.
Millar did exactly that with his writing or coming up with the story too.
Yeah.
That most of his muse for this this comic itself was Shakespeare's King Lear.
That's what I was going to say about as playing devil's advocate. Is this just a Harry Potter, Scream,
Mafia,
and Sixth Sense, and like some like combined? If you just combine those three ideas, that's what would kind of get you Magic Order. If I'm playing devil's advocate,
well, let me play devil's advocate.
No,
you
can't play double. You can't play double advocate. Devil's advocate.
Oh God, this sounds like a Seinfeld episode. No, it's talking about Seinfeld. You know, I like Curb Your Enthusiasm better than Seinfeld because they can do whatever the hell that they want, and you throw in a couple of F-bombs, and for me, maybe it's my immaturity or whatnot. It makes it more entertaining, more mature for me. I mean, why not with this too? If this is a more mature Harry Potter, I mean, maybe wands being able to blow up people makes it entertaining to us.
Yeah, and I feel like what Nad and what you're kind of saying is like the comic itself is in a vacuum because you've accepted that there's wizards, that they're magicians in like real world time, but the backstory of the comic gets touched on a little bit. So there's like this whole idea of monsters being everywhere and them vanquishing the monsters. Then you can have a backstory of how.
So what did you think about that part where like apparently there's monsters and it's up to only the Magic Order to keep them at bay? Like I just thought that was a little far-fetched, you know.
Yeah, like right. It's like,
I
was
mean,
it
there was
even needed?
more.
Was
like,
it even
maybe
needed?
there was. Huh?
Was it even needed? That backstory of like.
I don't know. I mean, I think it just shows how important, I guess, the Magic Order or like the reason why they exist, like why they're there.
Yeah. Well, they touch on.
I think they could go farther into that. You know, it could go into maybe how magicians were created. Maybe it was like a 1,000 million years back kind of thing.
Yeah. There's two things. There's like the creatures, and then there's the scene where she time travels, and they talk about how it's like World War II, and they have to intervene, and so like there's like that kind of aspect too. But the only part of the story I like really didn't like was I thought the main bad woman who has the cool black leather hat, I thought her like backstory and reason for doing everything was super weak. Like I wish she had a more. She's like, oh, my dad didn't give me that book. It's like, that's why you want to murder everyone. But then she keeps like reiterating like 9 times during the comic, like, "Oh, don't worry, guys, I'm gonna murder everyone, but everything will be just normal." Like I
She
thought
just
it was
wants to be in charge. I think she just
Well, I mean, right. I mean, do you think that her dad knew her intentions, knew that she was what she
I think
was going to
so
use it
because
for?
I think so because in the end, I don't know if you remember, like her uncle says, "This is exactly, you know, you just proved
oh,
to
you
why you
proved.
didn't get the book."
Yeah.
You know,
No, that's what it says. Like it's when they're fighting. It's when they're fighting and he's about to kill her, and
yeah, right before he kills
yeah,
her.
he said, this is the proof that you shouldn't have gotten the book. But then to
And
get
Which leads us
you
back
know,
to Halloween all over again with his
I
black
think
eyes.
I think her death was really weak, honestly.
yeah,
Um, I think she might come back or something, just like how it was easy for everybody else to come back.
yeah. And then like the even more of they play on the word like trust, how the the uncle didn't give her the book because he didn't trust her. And then at the end of the comic is the main father saying like, I just need to trust you a little bit. So I thought that was kind of a play on words of trust and how the dad trusts
Well,
the daughter.
the magic order is like a big family thing,
Right.
Yeah.
so I think a lot of it has to do on trust. So,
But there's also mistrust because he also like leaves the mom and he like, because I think at the end he goes like, I'm gonna have a relationship with your mom, and he has a baby with another woman, and so it's like a huge family but with some family problems in there.
Damn. I mean, the one daughter too. She's she's a little crazy as well.
who,
Stuff going on.
Cordelia,
Yeah, exactly.
she's a badass though. Like you don't realize it until the end, but like the story's been like all about her
Oh,
since the
absolutely.
beginning.
I mean, definitely her the
Yeah.
things that she does. I mean, starting when she was a kid, the escapologist, how she says
Okay,
that for the first time.
so quick question.
Yeah.
It seems like they each have like a sort of power type thing. Do you think like each one of these people are born with like a different type of
I
magical?
I would think so. Almost. This is going to be really cheesy connection, sort of like an Incredibles, the Incredibles movie, that each one has a different power, except for Jack, who has 15
All
million.
50 powers.
Multiple.
Yeah,
That's Gabriel apparently because he was like the best.
right, exactly.
But they don't really explain like what that makes me think like they didn't really explain the different powers. So she's like she escaped. She's an escapologist, and then
Yes.
I don't really know what other powers the other people have. I
Well,
can't
it
think.
seems like who was it? Her brother, what's his name?
Bernard? No.
Right.
Or there's that guy. I mean, one guy can shapeshift. So is that a magic? Is that a power?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The
Yeah.
He
shape-shifting,
can
and then
shapeshift.
how he appears to his brother when he's like at the grocery store. It seems like because he's like, want me to check on Gabriel, and then he does that, and I feel like maybe that's what he can do.
Oh, like
You know how he's like floating on a cloud,
yeah. Oh, okay.
like this right here.
Okay. Yep. No.
I didn't even
It seemed
notice
like he was the only
that.
But yeah, it seems like each one has a weakness too, because his weakness seemed to be his rage that ultimately ended up getting him in trouble, didn't it?
Who, Gabriel?
No,
Bernard.
the brother, Gabriel's brother.
How did it get him in trouble?
Find his
Forgot.
name. I cannot find his name.
That he had done something, and I don't know what the bad woman. I'm just going to call her the bad woman.
The awesome one with the leather like helmet.
Right, exactly. She's just like, well,
Regan. His name is Regan.
yes,
Regan?
that's
Okay.
it. That's
Regan.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's not
And
Bernard.
her name is Madame Albany.
Oh,
There
no,
we go.
Yeah.
She definitely looks like a madam. I don't know what that means.
We all know what that means, Rett. We all know.
Oh, I'm getting myself in trouble.
So, Nat, you're telling us you picked a good book to read and for people to be into.
Yeah, I mean, I love this book. I wish, if you haven't read it, like I really wish you would give it a shot and read it. You know what I've been noticing though? Did that guy that died in the beginning, did he ever come back? The first guy that died?
I think he had to.
Did he though?
Yeah, because
know.
all of them had to be there, or somebody had to die for somebody to come back to life. So all of them came back to life when everybody was killed at the end.
See, that was also something that it didn't make sense to me. Was that how does the main bad woman know what it takes to resurrect someone if she's never seen the book? And then B, it was like she makes that point where it's like, how are you resurrecting them because you need to kill someone? And then the person goes like, we're gonna do it right now, and then they just kill everyone. And I'm like, isn't that backwards? Didn't they need to sacrifice
it's common
someone?
sense, Andrew. It's common sense that you have to sacrifice someone. Obviously.
But it's backwards. It's like I don't know. I think if you think too much detail, it would drive you crazy.
Ruin
But
it,
yeah.
And the reason I'm asking about if he came back was because they do a ceremony of the broken wand, and we only see 2 funerals.
True.
Which I feel like they, like you said, these people are dying, and then they're just kind of like, oh, whatever, he just died. But then they didn't really do funerals and stuff. And when the first guy died, they broke his wand, and then whenever the Gabriel died, they broke his wand too. So to me, that's kind of like, oh, it's official, you're dead. But like everyone else that came back, I just feel like, oh, you kind of knew in the back of your mind they weren't really dead,
No, that's actually good symbolism.
But I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I'm like, did he? I don't have my 6th book out. I don't know why.
If you go with that theory, I think you're absolutely 100% correct, and that makes sense.
What, that you're really truly not dead until your wand is broken?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Is this a good time to? I actually brought a prop, my Harry Potter wand. So I have my wand, and it's not broken. So I can't die, Rett. You can't.
There's a joke somewhere in here.
No, it's my real Harry Potter wand I got.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Is it like someone's? Is it like someone's wand, or is it like your wand that chose you?
Well, first of all, the funny story about that was like, when you go in there at Universal, like
I don't know. I've never been there.
Oh, okay. All the cool people know what I'm talking about. Like the Harry Potter. No, the Harry Potter. The funny part is the wand picks you. So they're like,
yeah.
Oh, you should get Dumbledore's wand. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. I want to pick my own wand. So I completely didn't follow the rules. And I got my own super wand. I just wanted to break that out to see Rhett's face when
I would.
So you picked the wand. It didn't pick you.
That's true. The salesperson at Universal tried to give me a wand that said was connected to me, just like Harry Potter. That's the whole thing. Like all the kids walk in and go, "Oh, which wand is for me?" And I was like, "No, I'm okay. I'm an adult. This one looks cooler. I want to pick this one instead." So,
two things. I honestly think that your owl is as stupid as Ron Weasley's.
I don't have an owl.
I don't know. And then 2, you need to break that out, Andrew, and you need to say the word huzzah and push up your glasses. That's it. I would love to see that.
After the Google?
Is this only for me?
It's only for you.
Oh God.
Special.
Okay.
Maybe Comic Book Campaign will do it an episode.
Okay.
There's enough requests. I just thought that was funny. I wanted to wait
No, I'm laughing.
Good. At me or with?
I might be dying a little bit inside as well.
Good. That was my intention.
Good.
But Natalie, I did not even notice that wand and it's broken and you're not alive. You're not dead until I completely missed that. So that's pretty cool that you brought that up.
No, I'm just saying, maybe. I don't know. They only showed 2 funerals. Maybe there was so many magicians dying, they didn't want to, like, have a funeral in every, like, page. So
Yeah.
that might be wrong.
No, I like that. That's a good.
And did you like the idea that that only themselves could see their powers, that they never really showed their powers to the regular people or whatnot? I thought that was kind of cool that
Like when they're fighting in the end?
Yeah, well, throughout the entire thing.
Like everything was cloaked.
Right, exactly. It's just like you don't have to worry about any of the real people or whatnot. It's just like they've created their own world. They're stuck. They're doing
like Harry
everything.
Potter.
Yeah,
like
Harry Potter.
Like Men in Black.
Oh God!
You don't like Men in Black?
Me? What kind of references are we bringing here, dude?
Men in Black it's the same. It's the same.
Is it timeless? Is it a timeless movie?
No, come on. They're a secret organization. Humans don't know they exist. When they see aliens, they flash them and they tell them they make up a story that
True.
it's the same exact.
Okay, yeah, I see it now.
It's the same exact concept. It's
But
also my second Will Smith reference in back-to-back episodes. So that's gonna be your new Carl. I hate Carl.
Oh.
Mine's gonna bring in Will Smith references. Just want you to know that.
Okay. We just got jiggy with that. So nice. I'm not proud. But
so was there anything else that I remember they wanted to talk about?
I really like the artwork. I know Rett always gets on me for we should talk about the artwork a lot more, but I thought it was awesome.
It was really nice. It was nice. It fit with the story, like the shadowing, the colors, and everything.
Yeah,
it was awesome. I think this is a really good pick.
Unfortunately, I mean, I'm not an artist myself. I mean, I can't really go much further than, oh yeah, I really like the art, or I really don't like the art, or whatnot. I mean, you can talk about the coloring and whatnot, and the font and lettering too as well. But I don't know like type of art, or the type of if they're using different types of pencils or whatnot. I can't really go any further than that, which I'm sorry to the people that actually had to listen to me explain my stupidity. So.
Nat, what didn't you like about this comic? I feel like you liked it so much. What did you not like about it? So you liked everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was some things. I don't really remember. I'm trying, like you said, not to go very like in depth about it, because there's a lot of unanswered and loopholes and stuff. But I mean, pretty much, I think the good outweighed, the bad. I kind of just tried to forget about the questions I did have, because I feel like they could either be answered later on, because it's like, it's something that I can see continuing. Like it's not going to end here. So whatever questions I did have, it's like, I know they'll be answered later.
Well, I think we asked this question for Reborn, but let's bring it out for this one.
You know what? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
I think what I
no.
kinda didn't like was the whole Cordelia thing. How they kinda I mean, it's awesome that they made it all about her and that she's like, you know, 'cause she is a badass and they made her, you know, they made it seem like she was just kinda like this drunk or whatever, and then all of a sudden she's like this badass, and I feel like if the story does continue, it'll be more about her. That I kinda didn't like because, I don't know, I'm not really a fan of, like, female characters and stuff.
Well,
You're
what do you,
And I think well, it's because the story I would like it to be focused more on the magic order and the whole family thing and everyone, like, how they went back and forth with the different characters. I don't want it to be focused on one particular character or anything.
okay, that's
well,
actually what I was going to ask. I mean, if this one was, you think more Cordelia focused, maybe the
Towards
next
the
one would,
end,
yeah.
it
Hmm.
was, yeah.
but I feel like I feel like taking a step back and looking at the overall arc of the story, I feel like it's definitely a mirror image of a father and a daughter. So I think on one end it's the uncle who didn't trust his own daughter, the bad woman with the cool
Yeah.
mask. So it's like her path, and then it's the main father with Cordelia, and it's their relationship and how. And I like how I said before, the end of the comic, he talks about trust with her. So it's kind of like I can see the parallel and the story arc of how it kind
Do
of
you think
is.
maybe the dad realized, like, towards the end, kinda like, "I don't want you know, since you're seeking my approval so much, I don't want later on for you to, you know, do something like that, like the madame did."
Right.
Hmm.
What's her
But
name?
like, uh,
Albany.
well,
Albany, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's the story of two dads, and like the one dad for the bad woman is he didn't
Either
trust
way,
her.
though, it's about her. That's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
like, it's about her, and that's probably something I didn't like, but that's me, like, personally, what I didn't like.
Well, let's go with that. I think we asked the same thing for Reborn. If they were to continue with the series, we said what we would like to see, or perhaps see in next issues. What would you like to see happen if they were to continue with this? Which I mean, Millar said that he was.
I think. Do you want me to go? I think it'd be cool if
Anybody.
I can see. I'd be cool with the storyline of like the daughter of Gabriel growing up and then turning on the family
Didn't you think that
because
was kinda messed up how they just took her from her mom?
Yeah.
yes,
Like, they
like
finally you know, she came back, and then even, you know, I feel like the dad thought like, Gabriel thought, you know, she's gonna be okay now, she's gonna be back with, you know, I guess her
Yeah,
mom.
I'm surprised that the mother wasn't a bigger storyline in this. That is just like you saw that she was upset about the daughter, but that's all what you sort of got. It wasn't like she was with Gabriel, being pissed off too, or you know, wanting revenge, or super deep sorrow or whatnot. It was just like she's sad.
yeah,
That's
I
it.
think that's the message. Though. I thought the message was like it just shows how paralyzed you are, like
No, but
how
then, remember they said that apparently Gabriel says she doesn't know, like, what's happening, like, he stepped away from that life, so apparently
That
she didn't know.
the wife doesn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
remember, like, when they're shopping, he was like, I'm actually on the page right now.
I thought he was stepping away from the magic life.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
the
I got
magic
from it too.
yeah,
But yeah,
well, what
does the mom know exactly what happened?
Well,
yeah, she's the one that found them,
Yeah.
right.
like,
So
their or her daughter.
And you also hear her say that it's been a long time since she's been in the castle, in the painting. So she knows about the
yeah,
life too as well.
But that wasn't her, in all honesty.
It wasn't?
That was
no,
a
it was the.
shapeshifter.
Hmm. But then the family has to know that she's been there before.
No, I mean, she has. That's
So,
what
yeah.
I'm saying. Like, they didn't keep it from the family. Like,
Right.
when she
Yeah.
got married, had kids, like, it was in the family. Now you know.
Yeah.
And I think, like, if something did happen, like you got divorced or something, they could easily just make you forget. And even the dad had told Gabriel, why don't you just make her forget?
Oh, okay.
Remember when they're in the car and she's
Yeah.
like, she just keeps that she's been really down because of her daughter. And then she was like, you can easily make her forget. And then Gabriel was like, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I'm with you guys. I think I'm with Natalie where it's I can see the daughter being a central figure and then like just turning on the good side of the family and just being like you took like what Nat said, like you took me from my mom. What really happened to my dad? You know, I could be with my dad if it wasn't for you people. So I
Well,
can see that
right,
being her being a main
exactly.
character.
That would be interesting to see if she knew what Madame Albany's intention was to have her come back to be with her dad, and her revenge of what the hell, I had a chance to be reborn, or to be to come back to life.
Yeah. I didn't understand how when she comes back to life, she thinks she's back like in the attic or whatever with her friends,
Like where she died.
But then when the wizards come back to life, they haven't missed a beat. They're just like, oh, I know the whole plan.
Well, I think because they had that plan for, well, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, like they were like ghosts just listening, and then they were like right on beat with like the next line. They're like, yeah, I'll show you. I was like, how did they know? Weren't they dead?
Maybe they have like a sixth sense.
Oh, you're making fun of me because I said that was like
No, I'm just saying because they're actually like wizards and stuff. The little
Yeah.
girl, she still hasn't developed that what's happening. Maybe they were watching like as ghosts or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's possible. What do you
And
think? I was gonna say, what do you think of that spider? Like the scene in the auditorium with like the spider. I thought that was cool, but I like where the dad thinks he's fighting the Venetian, but then it really turns out to be another. It's like
Oh, that nightmare guy.
the
or whatever?
nightmare. Yeah, like he's like, what? I didn't really understand that part, but it was like he said that it was the nightmare of a child, and that was like the spider with like a million eyes. Yeah,
There was like a lot of monsters that you saw that they had captured and stuff, but yeah, like I don't know, they didn't really go much.
Yeah, it was cool
on that.
But talking about Rett with like the maturity, I loved like the gory,
The horror goblin.
chill. Yeah, the
Globin.
guy.
Horror globin.
Right.
I loved the gore and the death. Like I love like just the different ways. It reminded me of that movie where, gosh, I can't remember, but like I like where they take the picture of the guy's soul, and then
that was really cool.
Yeah, and then the whole point it's so funny to me because it's like he's an assassin, but all he did was crumple up a Polaroid picture.
Right.
I was like, you really need to hire an assassin to kill this guy? I could have done that, like just crumbled up. And then you can see like the next panel, and I didn't really notice at first, but like the next panel is the guy like literally like getting crushed,
right, shielding himself. Yeah,
in the Polaroid. I thought that was awesome. Like, so I can see like a lot of the death scenes and were so awesome. I really enjoyed
that one was I was hoping somebody would mention that because that was fantastic. The other one where the room started to collapse in.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that one.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
that one's great.
It's just I could just picture CGI doing a great job.
I like how he was just like, "Oh, there's nothing we can do now. Like, just accept it. You're dead."
Right.
Like, couldn't he like do like an anti, spell or whatever?
A Patronus? I'm just kidding.
No,
that's from Harry Potter.
I know, but I don't think
it doesn't.
Could have.
No, it doesn't work. Yeah, I thought that was awesome. That was a cool scene. Was this carpet always blue? or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
what
he's
color
like,
was the
no.
carpet?
Oh yeah, it's right here.
Yeah,
That's funny. He's like, I'm afraid we walk into a changing spell.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was,
He's like, it's too late. I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do.
I like. There's also the one where he turns someone into like a candle, and the guys
Oh, and the
like they're like,
subway thing.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they're like whatever. It doesn't even matter because
They're using it as a torture. They're
Yeah, because
torturing him.
see, that's what I'm talking about, the power. Because that guy, that homeless guy, he could float away. Like that was his power.
oh, is that like why he like floated down?
Yeah, he
Like,
was able to float, and that's what
oh,
she said. Cordelia said, "I just turned you into a candle, so now you can't float away."
oh,
Oh,
Because he was
okay.
melting.
Oh,
but that was
right.
that was also a cool death where he like smashes it. I thought the visuals and a lot of
Oh,
them
that
were
was awesome. Yeah, where
yeah,
he just like right in the face. That was awesome.
yeah.
I want to see this turn into a show already. Like I think it would be great. Like I'll tell you, like that scene with the car, like that was amazing. I could just see that happening like in slow motion. Like you just look like a badass. Like they made you love Gabriel. They made you like feel sorry for him. They made you just like love him, and then like towards the end, it was just a complete
turnaround.
180.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good show. I hope they don't blow it.
We need to
I
IMDb
don't know.
that.
Netflix has done pretty good though, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
they'll do a good job.
Stranger Things. It's coming up.
in October, isn't it?
No, it's a summer.
In July,
It's
4th of
July.
July, right?
Yes.
They did the
I'm sorry. I'm just like promoting all of these things on our shows. It's just like forget about our show. What about Stranger Things? Game of Thrones.
I think Netflix though has done a really good job with their shows.
I would agree.
I haven't watched all their shows, but the ones I have watched have been pretty good.
Hmm.
Tom says that he'll have to buy this trade paperback now. So
we got one person. We got one.
No, well, I mean, there's been comments, but I haven't been reading them, and then I felt kind of bad because whenever I actually did want to bring it up, we were talking about something else.
Oh,
hey, Mark Millar, whenever you want to send us some money our way, just let us know. Okay?
because we've done absolutely nothing.
Right, exactly.
Done absolutely nothing. We're just commenting. No, don't do that.
I know somebody asked, where does the Magic Order rank among Millar's other stuff, like Old Man Logan and Red Sun, etc. But I don't know if you guys have read any of those other Millar books.
I have not read. I mean, I've read The Kingsman, and Kingsman is phenomenal. Both volumes are incredible. And if you've seen the movies, the first one does a good job of mirroring the first comic, but the second one is nothing like the comic at all. The comic is 100 million times better than the movie. The movie sucked.
Oh, really?
In my opinion. Yeah. It was just like Team America needed to or America needed to insert themselves into a British movie, and it just it was dumb. The plot was dumb. Everything
you didn't like it.
Yeah,
you didn't like it.
I didn't like it. Channing Tatum. No,
was not good.
I don't like him either.
I've been seeing the movies. I want to read the books now.
It's awesome.
I think, I don't know if y'all want to. I mean, I love Mark Millar's books, but I'm pretty sure y'all haven't read a lot of them, so that's why I didn't ask. But I think it'll be cool to like keep reading.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely one of my favorite writers, and I know that I've read other stuff by him. I mean, but I don't want you to list off the stuff that you're currently reading, Natalie.
No, I know. That's why I'm trying to see. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Nat, what do you like the best from him?
To be honest, it was Reborn. I loved Reborn, but now I think the Magic Order is my favorite. I recently read Huck, and it was just it was a really easy read. Like it was a simple read, and it was good, but it was just that. Like it was just like there. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like it was
No,
like a simple story, and then it made you feel good. Like it made me really happy, like the way it went and ended. But that was all. Like I don't know.
and
It wasn't like the greatest.
that's a good. I mean, I'm glad that you actually said that because I know that was on my list, and Raphael Albuquerque, who did
Yeah,
the art or whatnot, he's really good. I really like him too. So, I'll still read it. I'll still read it.
No, you should. I mean, you should.
So,
Yeah,
what about you, Andrew?
I mean, Reborn. I mean, just from Reborn was fun, just because I feel like it was fun to talk about, like, more philosophically, like what happens after you die, and like seeing that story.
Because that one could be interpreted in a lot of ways. Like,
Yeah,
differently. Yeah.
This one was more of like a set story where I'm just on edge after every issue of like. Look, I know I was like messaging Nat. I was like, "Oh my god, I finished issue 5." Like,
Imagine having to wait like a month
oh yeah,
or 2 in between issues. It was the worst. Like I was just like, like I want to read it.
yeah. It was
Right.
definitely.
You're lucky. You read it all together. You're lucky.
Yeah. Well, I was actually just gonna read like the first 2 issues in that one sitting, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm done. I'm like, I have to keep reading. There's only 6 issues. I'm like, I have to keep going. So I was like, get out of here with this issue. So, like I said before, like I can see that. Like, I hope they don't like draw it out like a whole season of like an issue, because that it would just take too long. But like,
no, maybe this whole
just like a season
series, I can see that.
But it'd be like Red Wedding, Game of Thrones. Like, you have to see this episode, and it's awesome. And then
Oh my god, I love
wait
that
till the next.
episode.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see the movie or whatever, the adaptation on Netflix of
Yeah,
this.
me
So,
too. But then I feel like I'm always gonna be like, oh, it wasn't as good as the book.
but those are 2 separate things, though. You had such a good time with the book, and now let's see what happens with the adaptation.
And yeah.
It was fun. What were you gonna say, Rhett?
No, I was just saying I think movies nowadays actually seem to be doing much better abiding by the books and whatnot. I mean,
well, I think especially if Millar's involved,
right?
Yeah, it would be.
That's huge. It's not like Stanley Kubrick with Stephen King's The Shining. Is that too old of a reference? Jesus.
No, okay. It's not gonna be Todd McFarlane with Spawn. Is that a comic book?
Apparently, yeah.
Spawn was kind of bombed, but
damn.
But yeah,
I would be interested to throw this out to that person that commented if they had seen or read Kick-Ass. I mean, I definitely would like to try and read Kick-Ass one of these days, which is a Mark Millar as well.
Yeah.
I know that they've made a couple of movies by them, which I haven't seen. But I think I would like to read the comic before seeing the movies. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the ones past that, I think. I don't know if they made 2 or 3. I'm actually not sure. But
right.
It's okay.
I know that the second or third one had the Jim Carrey controversy where he didn't want to do it because it was too violent for him.
What was this? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was because of his kid. He didn't he didn't want to do it because it was too violent for his kid or whatnot. So
yeah. For me with Magic Order, I just feel like I always try to reference like what was it similar to, and if I like it better. Like, I just feel like it was a good story. I feel like it took elements just from different things and just put them together and just told a great story. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's so many things though, because it's so hard to come up
It
with
was good though. It wasn't like
good.
copying, like completely copying, I guess.
No, it wasn't.
Well, I mean,
It
anything this
was
day and age is everything is copied. There's no new stuff anywhere.
that's true. Well,
and it was great. And I thought the story was great. Art was great. I mean, even if he did cherry pick stuff, I mean, he did a great job at masking, you know, specific references or whatnot.
Yeah. So Nat, you're definitely gonna tell people to read this comic.
oh yeah, definitely.
We got that one guy.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've told thousands of millions of people.
Millions.
No, I told a lot of people. I've actually, I got a lot of number ones when it came out, and I have given away like quite a few, which now I kind of regret. But
that's okay.
No, I've given away quite a few because I've been wanting them to read it, or I have wanted them to read it. So I would be like, here, like, just read it, please. So, how about y'all? Would y'all recommend it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I would also recommend Scream, Harry Potter, and The Sixth Sense, and tell them to watch all those movies. And then, if they like Magic Order, they're gonna like those other things too. Like, I feel like that those concepts of Scream, Scream of like an assassin. What?
A Scream?
Yeah, the movie Scream.
Yeah, but in what way?
Well, Scream was like there's a murderer in a group of people, and you don't know who the murderer is, but they all just kind of live their lives. And in the end, you kind of find out that it was someone in their group.
Okay.
And it was like multiple people. So that's what I think. I mean, it's just my opinion of
I think it's more like Ghostbusters.
No, I agree though. I think Harry Potter would be the closest that I'd see, like an adult. You know?
Right. I was just gonna say that it's like a matured, it's matured Harry Potter.
Harry Potter gets kind of dark at the end, but it's not that gory.
I don't think exploding bodies. I don't remember that from the movies.
No,
or I never.
I like that whole mafia thing too that they have going. That only like it's like this very secret underground thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
like very high up at the same time. Oh, you know what we didn't talk about? The uncle.
We hit on him a little bit, but yeah, keep on going.
No, the uncle at the end. The one that like.
Oh yeah, right, exactly.
Like, super powerful.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, we didn't. We brought up the uncle, but we didn't.
The one that like everyone thought like he was just scared to leave the house, and he was just kind of like, oh, he hasn't left the house. He's so weak, blah blah.
Right, and he was
like the most powerful.
Right, he was afraid of his own power, pretty much.
I think he just.
Well, maybe that's.
It just didn't want
not put
to take out half the earth.
Right, exactly.
I really actually didn't get it. Like I like he is like a dragon kind of thing, and I feel like he was talking like out of body experience, right? Because he's like, you better leave. Like I feel like the uncle
pet.
That was his pet. He's like, you should leave.
Yeah, I think he has like a pet. I don't know why I don't have issue 6 out, but I don't want to get it.
Like at the end,
yeah,
like
he has, like the dragon, which I think is like his pet.
But then at the funeral, they say too, like, we'll tell you when you're older about him. Like, I think there's like an even bigger backstory of like how he is so powerful and how he.
Right. And he almost has, if anybody has read the Watchmen, he almost had like a Dr. Manhattan feel to him, where he's so powerful and nobody really can explain, and he's just too powerful for everybody.
Yeah, no, totally. That was awesome.
I thought
Everything
that was
that,
pretty cool.
yeah, the whole comic was awesome. like that part with the uncle was pretty cool. It was pretty awesome.
I thought that was cool because, like, you don't think anything of him. You just think like what they say, how he doesn't leave the house. He's scared. He deals with all this, um, I guess, anxiety and stuff, and then all of a sudden he ends up being like this badass with the biggest power.
Yeah, and he just like eviscerates the guy. Like it's like not even close. Like that's not even a fight. It's just like he like blows him up. Like it's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
And it says that he's the one that's taken out like hundreds of stars and
Oh yeah,
like people and stuff. Yeah.
he's the reason that there's the desert in Egypt.
Oh yeah.
He's the reason
There
there's
you go.
half
So,
the
like, wow.
stars. And there's one more. And he killed like 1 million people. I'm like, how do they hide that? How do they hide someone killing 1 million people? But it probably could be something. But yeah. But yeah, it was awesome.
So if there's nothing else to say,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna leave it here.
Good. We should have had a little bit worse book, so we had more like I liked it, no, I didn't like it, because I think it's just an awesome book, and I think we all kind of agreed that everyone
Yeah,
should
it is
read
an
it.
awesome book. And I'm really glad you liked it, like both of y'all, because I don't know. It would have sucked if y'all were just like, I didn't like it.
Yeah, no, huge fan, of it, and great suggestion. And I think it's time that we pick another one.
Yeah, well, Rett, he always, I mean, I picked comics for Rett and I to read, and then he always goes like, "Why'd you pick this awesome comic again?" And you just kept picking good ones. But I think, yeah, so I think now, this is just another
is that a
good
challenge?
comic.
Is that a challenge?
Yeah, like it's kind of a lot of pressure because then every comic you're like, this better be better than Magic Order, and I don't know if it's going to be. So we read.
I think I should even both of you out and just continue picking stuff that sucks.
Yeah, because I think we're doing Coyotes for Thursday, and then that was Rhett's pick, and then my pick we're doing Paper Girls the following week, and I didn't even realize. I'm like, oh, Rhett, guess who wrote Paper Girls? The same guy who wrote Saga.
Ryan,
So he's like,
you didn't know that?
no, I didn't know. I didn't
Ryan
realize.
came on. Yeah, he wrote, and I've actually never read Paper Girls either.
Oh, so I'm excited. I'm excited to do that one. I have not read that, so we're gonna do that.
Well, I mean, continuing from now, pick it up and join our 21st Century Book Club, Natalie.
I don't know if I'll have time to. I like reading these books because I have read them, and I did go back and read them today, but like I didn't like it was the second time reading it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but reading a book for the first time with like the little amount of time I've had, I would have to do it within like a month's notice or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always welcome, but thanks. Yeah, well, thanks. Well, first of all, thanks for having us on your show. I really
right. I mean, that's the most important thing. It's like, yeah, this has been fun.
Yeah.
And hopefully this isn't the only time that we do this. So
yeah, thanks for joining me. I'm sure we'll pick a new book soon and stuff. But I've actually been wanting to review the Magic Order since it ended, but I never got the chance to. But now I'm glad I did it, and I did it with like as a discussion with you guys, so it was fun. Good. But yeah, if I don't have anything else to say, I think I'm just gonna
just wrap us up, dude.
Yeah. So for those that are watching it and haven't read the Magic Order, I think you definitely should. And Thanks for joining me. I think I will go back to doing my regular show next week, maybe if I'm not too tired. But
That's tiring.
yeah. So thanks, Andrew and
Oh,
Rhett,
thanks.
for joining
Oh
me.
yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you.
And I will go ahead and catch you guys later. So, bye, guys.
See ya.